Welcome back to the program. We're starting off this segment in East Africa, in Kenya, where the opposition presidential candidate Raila Odinga and running mate Kalonzo Musyoka have presented their election documents to the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission ahead of the forthcoming presidential poll. Odinga, who comes from one of Kenya's most powerful political parties, will try to unseat President Uhuru Kenyatta as citizens go to the polls on August the 8th. 2017.
Presidential election in Kenya has kicked off. Opposition politician Raila Odinga and his running mate Kalonzo Musyoka presented their election document. Odinga comes from one of Kenya's most powerful political families. He wants to unseat current President Kenyatta, the wealthy son of the country's first president and head of the ruling Jubilee Party. He hopes he will be the fifth time lucky this year. It's the fourth time Odinga has run for the presidency. The veteran politician was nominated by a group of other leaders who also had presidential ambitions and came together to form the National Super Alliance.
We want to give an assurance that our campaigns are going to be very peaceful, and at the end of the day, we also expect that it's going to be a fair contest. In any contest, there will be winners and there will be losers. We have said that if we are defeated, we would accept it if it's fair. We hope that we'll not have to have a situation where we have to go to court. We hope that the Commission is going to be fair and ensure a free, fair, independent election process.
The last election in 2013 is still haunted by the 2 months of violence that followed the disputed 2007 presidential poll, when political protest rapidly spilled into ethnic bloodletting. More than 1,200 people were killed and 600,000 fled their homes. Kenyans will go to the polls on the 8th of August to elect a president, lawmakers and local officials.
Well, a China-funded Mombasa-to-Nairobi railway has won wide acclaim in Kenya, with the people hailing the project as a signature for this Eastern African country and a way to change the Kenyan people's lives. The 480-kilometer-long route, the Mombasa-to-Nairobi standard gauge railway, is expected to begin operation in June.
The single-track railway connects Mombasa, the largest port in East Africa, to the Kenyan capital, replacing a track built a century ago during the British colonial rule. Passenger trains will shuttle at an average speed of 120 kilometers per hour, while the cargo trains will go at 80 kilometers per hour. The railway line is designed to transport 22 million tons of cargo annually. The railroad would greatly reduce the cost and time of movement of goods from the coastal Mombasa to the hinterland, including neighboring countries that rely on the port of Mombasa for imports.
I've traveled to Mombasa of late with a bus. And with the bus is 7 to 8 hours. I'm so excited about the new project. It's 4 hours, so I save 4 hours for other businesses.
Eagerly waiting for it after telling even my children, my own children, even my parents, when I told them the experience I had with, when I traveled to Mombasa, they are waiting for it to be open.
The project, which started in September 2014, created over 38,000 jobs and led to the training of tens of thousands of Kenyan engineers.
Chinese standards themselves, they are so high and they are so good. At first maybe it was a little difficult to try to tune in, but right now everyone has styled up, everyone has tuned in, and by that first we are going to give it the best shot.
The railway line in Kenya is expected to eventually extend to other East African nations. It will increasingly serve as a channel for exporting East African valuable resources to the outside world.
Chinese have done a lot of training to the Kenyan team to maintain the standard gauge railway in future. Developed a character which is noble and which is goal-oriented character, which will help each and every one of us not only maintain the standard gauge railway, but also develop the country as well and as a whole.
The project is carried out by a Chinese enterprise, China Road and Bridge Company, CRBC, with an investment of about $3.8 billion. About 90% of the funds were provided by the China Exim Bank.
For decades, farming in Nigeria was considered a vocation for rural communities that attracted meager profits. But this perception is fast changing as more urban-based professional women are taking it up as a business. They're also adopting modern technology to make it more profitable and efficient.
More women in Nigeria are seeking ways to transform agriculture by making their farms more efficient. Kofoduro Simieti is among a new crop of women farmers. She owns and runs Next Generation Innovative Farm in Lagos State and has adopted drip irrigation and greenhouse technologies to grow a variety of vegetables for sale, including tomatoes, habanero peppers, okra, and kale.
I think the way we farm is different now. It's just not about manual labor. There are different technologies to make the process easier. For example, we're using greenhouse technology here. So basically, you're able to protect your crops, manage the elements. You know, we're watering our plants through drip irrigation. So nobody's actually taking a hose to water everything. Everything is made easier.
Kofo is a trained management accountant who returned from the university in the United Kingdom and started her business in 2015. She also holds a diploma in agriculture, water and crop management from an institution in Israel. Women on the continent are the main food providers, but majority don't have access to technology, which could cut the time it takes for them to grow and harvest crops. Small-scale women farmers grow up to 80% of food consumed in Africa, but most of them don't have equal land rights as men. Kofo leased land from Lagos State government to run her farm. To encourage other young farmers, the entrepreneur writes a blog about farming where people can discuss ways of improving their farm strategies. At Lekki Farm, Oladuni Otitoju keeps and sells cattle, goats, rams, turkey and chicken. She started her business 3 years ago with just 5 goats after leaving her job as a civil servant. Oladuni says it was not easy at first. At one point, she lost her initial flock of 50 chicks to disease.
When I started, a lot of my friends thought I was crazy. They actually told me, look at you, you're going dark, you're always in the sun. But it was something I enjoyed doing.
Nigeria has been trying to diversify its economy to boost agriculture after it slipped into its first recession in 25 years last year, brought on by low prices for its mainstay, crude oil.
If there is food, nobody cares what happens to the economy. Everybody will be happy and there will be less crime in the society and there will be peace.
Agriculture has the potential to reduce Africa's poverty 2 to 4 times faster than any other sector, according to experts. It employs nearly 2/3 of the population on average, with women producing most of the food.
There you go. Good planning. Well, that's it on Network Africa. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Joke Rogers.